I've got a little bit of a problem when it comes to buying video games. If I see a game that's got badass cover art, I just buy it up. No logic, no thoughts go through my head, I just buy it. Something like Blades of Vengeance. Now, it's got absolutely badass cover art, and that translated into a badass game. So it worked out that time, but that doesn't always happen. More often than not, it comes back to bite me in the ass. Like with Red Ninja. See, the game's got great cover art, and there was a pretty good advertising campaign. Kurenai, the main character of Red Ninja, appeared in an issue of Playboy around the time of release. Now that might have suckered some people into buying it, but truth be told, the game's absolute garbage. Almost unplayable. Now I've also got a thing for Heavy Metal Magazine. You know, just something about badass babes in bikinis just killing dudes. I don't know. I love it. So, it's only natural that Alisia Dragoon would be a trap that I would willingly fall into. I mean, she's there on the cover in a metal bikini looking badass. She's got a dragon shooting lightning out of her fingers and killing some generic demon barbarians. I mean, it looks pretty badass. Now imagine my surprise when the actual game was nothing like the cover art. In fact, Alisia Dragoon was developed by an anime publisher, Gainax. Now, you might be familiar with Gainax. They developed Fooly Cooly, which is one of the greatest animes of all time. They also developed Neon Genesis Evangelion and Panty Stocking with Garter Belt. So maybe there is something to this game after all, even if it is misleading. The story is fairly ho-hum, and almost not worth mentioning at all. An ancient evil threatens the world and only Alisia can stop it. It's really cliché and not very memorable. The game is a side-scrolling action platformer that plays somewhat similar to Castlevania. Enemies bombard you from both sides and you shoot them down with lightning. You don't aim the lightning though, it strikes the nearest enemy or object. You don't have infinite magic though. The lightning is fueled by a regenerating meter. You must be careful to conserve your meter and shoot in quick bursts, as enemies can swarm at any time. You can also choose to build your meter into a rolling thunder attack. This attack strikes all nearby enemies with a powerful blast. This adds a layer of strategy, of choosing what to shoot and when. Alisia also commands 4 companions, each with a different power. There is a dragon, who breathes fire, an electrified thunder raven, a living fireball, and my personal favorite, a boomerang lizard that flies around and throws boomerangs at things. He's great! Now you don't control your companions directly. Well, you kind of control the fireball, but not really. Instead, they fly around on their own, attacking enemies at their own will. Each companion even has their own separate health and energy bars, separate from Alisia's and all the other companions. Some companions do better in certain situations than others, so you have to choose what companion to bring out and when. You can also pick up special items which will level up your companions, up to a maximum level of 3. These items aren't very hard to find, but if you use these items with a companion that is level 3, it'll just go to waste. If one of your companions dies, they are dead. D-E-A-D, dead, until you find a revive item, which are few and far between. All of this adds up to a level of complexity that's not seen very often in this genre. It's refreshing and a nice change of pace. The enemies are well thought out and level specific. Not very many enemies repeat, except there are a lot of bees, and this guy with a pitchfork keeps showing up. Enemy placement is generous. They come in swarms, but it never feels like artificial difficulty. You never feel like the game is being unfair at all, or that it's cheating. Bosses, on the other hand, can be very difficult, and sometimes it feels like you have to get hit. Defeating a boss with full health is one of the greatest satisfactions in gaming, and it seems like Alisia Dragoon might be depriving the player of this. Not to mention the game starts you off with only one continue. You can find 1-ups, but they're usually hidden in hard-to-reach places, or even off-screen. But these aren't even really legitimate concerns. The game's just difficult, that's how it is. It's difficult but rewarding, easy to play, hard to master. These are the best kinds of games. Remember earlier how I said that revives are hard to find? Well, they're usually found in hidden rooms, some of which you have to walk through walls or employ other sneaky tricks to find. These rooms are usually full of rare items like level-ups for your lightning and health, and revive items for your companions. These secret rooms are fun to find, and they add a level of exploration that is sadly missing from the genre outside of Metroid and Castlevania. The graphics in the game are fun and colorful, and the animations are fluid, but I guess such is to be expected by a game developed by an anime studio. The sound design in the game is great too. Nothing is annoying or grating. Everything pretty much sounds, well, like it's supposed to. Lightning sounds like lightning is supposed to sound, power-ups sound like power-ups are supposed to sound, and this thing sounds like, well, whatever the hell this thing is supposed to sound like. The soundtrack is fantastic too. A beautiful orchestral score, like everything else in the game, it just fits. And in one phrase, that's how I would describe the game. It fits. It's cohesive. Everything has a place and there's a meaning for everything. Something that seems to be missing from a lot of games of the time. There are no random or misplaced enemies. They all fit in their surroundings. And the areas naturally progress into each other. It's a great feat for a game of the time. Though I am a little disappointed I didn't get the badass heavy metal game promised me by the cover art, what I did get was a well put together, cohesive game that creates an experience unlike any other. Truly one of the best games on the Sega Genesis. So yeah, that's about the long and the short of it. Alisia Dragoon is a great game for the Sega Genesis, and it's really unique in its genre. It also goes to show that even if a game has misleading cover art, that doesn't mean it's bad. You should go pick this up today. You should also hit subscribe. Thanks for watching.